What's up, YouTube? This is your boy John from the Jersey Shore, and I am back with you today to give you my review of the 2013 film, Mama. If you're already a subscriber to my channel, welcome back. It's good to see you again. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, click that subscribe button now. Get that out of the way. Mama was directed by Andy Muschietti. It stars Jessica Chastain, Nicholas co-star Waldo, and Megan Charpentier. So Mama starts off with this dude killing his wife. The next thing you see is he goes into a room and he's got two young daughters there. He scoops them up. He's obviously stressed out. He looks like he's half sweating to death or he's drunk or both. Scoops up his two daughters, throws them in the car, and takes off like a bat out of hell. It's snowing outside. The ground's covered in snow. The road's covered with snow. And this dude is driving way too fast. The car begins to spin, and it quietly goes off the side of a mountain. So Dad gets a little bit beat up in the accident, but he's conscious. And he gets the two daughters out of the car, and he gets his two little girls inside of this old abandoned cabin. So once they showed the father inside of the cabin with the daughters, it's cold in there, so he's trying to break up furniture so that he can start a fire. So after they've been in there for a little while, something comes out of the darkness and attacks Dad. So after whatever it is grabs him, it picks him up, you hear bones crunching, it draws away, and that's that. No more Dad. So now these two little girls are left alone in a cabin in the woods. So flash forward 5 years and we find out that the father actually had a twin brother named Lucas. Lucas is very interested in trying to recover these two girls as they've never been found, but his wife, Annabelle, not so much. She really doesn't seem very interested in becoming a parent. Especially a parent of two little girls that she didn't raise. So eventually you see these two gentlemen wandering around out in the woods. They're part of an ongoing search party trying to find these two little girls. And they come across the car that the father was driving when he went off the side of that cliff. So being these guys are out there searching for these two girls, they have with them an old stuffed animal they have in a plastic bag. They open the bag and they let their bloodhound get the scent of this stuffed animal. And that dog goes running off into the woods and they just follow him. Eventually this guy comes across the cabin that these two little girls were in the last time that we saw them. Mama. So these dudes are standing in this cabin, and they come across a huge pile of cherry pits. And while these guys are messing around with these cherry pits and wandering around the house, you see one of the little girls crawl up on top of the cabinets like a little monkey, and you see the other little girl crawl from one doorway to another doorway across the hallway behind them. Eventually, both of these two little filthy Tarzan-looking kids, they both wind up on top of the refrigerator. These two guys are standing next to each other. They realize that these are the two little girls that everybody's been looking for 5 years. They look at each other and they say, "Do you think we should call him now?" Mama. So the next thing you see is Lucas going to see Annabelle at band practice. He's not going to see her. He's going to tell her that these two little girls have been found. Grabs her, takes off, and the next thing you see is these two little girls behind like an observation window. They both seem like they're not adjusted whatsoever. They're almost acting like animals. The older one, Victoria, is she adjusts much more quickly than the younger one, Lily, does. So there's a psychiatrist involved now, and he tells Lucas and Annabelle that in order to get these children, that they would have to be, their home would have to be sufficient or big enough to house all four of them safely, to give these girls a good home. The house that they currently live in is absolutely not big enough for all four of them. So what he does is he tells them that if they sign off and they allow him to observe the girls as they come back around and they evolve, then they can stay in a house that is absolutely big enough for the four of them to stay in. But the catch is that he now has access to Lucas and Annabelle, but primarily has access to watching and interviewing these two girls as they evolve and come back into society. Or back into the real world, or just brought back around being around other human beings, acclimated. He's allowed to observe them while they're becoming more acclimated. So one evening in the middle of the night, Lucas gets up and he wanders out into the hallway. He thinks he hears something, and he spots something up on the wall. It's like a dark hole on the wall, and it seems to be growing, and it almost seems like it's alive, like there's movement within it, like veins, and there are moths flying out of this hole. So he approaches this hole, and something comes out of this hole and knocks him backwards over the railing and down the steps, and now Lucas is in a coma. And while Lucas is in this coma, Annabelle is doing her own research to try and figure out maybe what is going on, why they're hearing things. She gets a story from the psychiatrist that the girls, that there's something has been taking care of them. They're referring to something or someone called Mama. So while Annabelle's doing all this research, some strange things are happening inside of the house. She's hearing the girls play down the hallway with obviously a third party. She's hearing things in the middle of the night. At one point, she approaches a closet. The two girls are in the room, and they beg her to not open this closet door. It says she knows that there's something going on, and she starts to do the research to try and get to the bottom of it. The psychiatrist has an idea of who Mama may be. Mama was somebody who lived in the past. She had a daughter. She basically was shoved off the edge of a cliff, and that was the last anybody ever heard from her. This woman was thrown off a cliff, so that's that. She's dead, she's gone, and that's the end of it. Until now. Mama. Eventually, Annabelle comes face to face with Mama. So while Lucas is in a coma, he has visions of his brother wandering out in front of a bridge and pointing. And when Lucas comes out of this coma, he takes that as a clue as to go find this bridge to get further information or to get to the bottom of what exactly is going on. And through Annabelle's research, and through things that she sees while she's having dreams and visions, she also determines where she's got to go to get further to the bottom of what exactly is going on. So eventually, all of the characters in this movie wind up on the cliff where Mama initially went over the edge with the baby. Lucas is there, Annabelle's there, Lily is there, Victoria's there, and Mama is there. Mama. I thought this movie was really cool. The effects in this movie, the visual effects and the CGI were absolutely amazing. Totally and completely top-notch. The character Mama is CGI throughout the whole movie, and she looks absolutely amazing. Throughout this movie, you get a whole lot of shots of Mama. You see, obviously some better than others because they're trying to keep it a little bit of a secret of who she is or what she looks like. You see shots of her hair flowing. You see her gown flowing. You see images of her hands. More times than not, she's accompanied by these giant moths. At one point, you even see Lily eating one of them things. I pretty much thought that everything about this movie was pretty solid. I thought that the story was really cool. I thought the effects, obviously, that I've spoke about were incredible. All of the actors did a very good job in this movie. The only actor that I actually knew from this movie was Jessica Chastain. I've seen her in a bunch of other stuff, and she's always great. Right away in 2013, which was the year that this movie came out, they were talking about there being a sequel to Mama, and then I know that they have rewritten the script a few different times. I actually checked IMDb just this morning, and the sequel to Mama is still listed as being in pre-production. So maybe we get a sequel to Mama, maybe we don't get a sequel to Mama, but either way, this movie was great. Guillermo Del Toro was the executive producer of this movie, and just like all of Guillermo Del Toro's stuff, this movie was awesome. Watch Mama. Alright folks, that's going to do it for my review of the 2013 film Mama. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I would love for you to go on this journey with me. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, have a kick-ass day, and thank you for watching.